Let's explore the beautiful medieval town of Rothenburg ob der Tauber. Welcome to Rothenburg ob der Tauber, a fairy tale town frozen in time. Nestled in the heart of Bavaria, this medieval gem draws visitors from around the world with its cobblestone streets, timber-framed houses, and centuries-old towers. Hey, it's Mark and Pam with Any Way You Travel. If you're a first-time viewer, we want to welcome you. If you're a returning viewer, we're glad to have you back. So let's get settled in and explore the beautiful medieval village of Rothenburg ob der Tauber. Rothenburg dates back to 1274 when it was officially declared a free imperial city. It quickly became one of the most important towns in the Holy Roman Empire, thriving on trade and its strategic hilltop location overlooking the Tauber River. The town is still surrounded by its original medieval walls, complete with gates, towers, and covered walkways.
A lot of the stairways up to these towers, I tell you, you've got to be careful with because they are very, very steep, and the steps can be extremely high, and the flat part of the steps, whatever that's called, can be very narrow, especially if you're going around a corner. So you got to be careful.
Of course, there's a new part to Rothenburg, but once you step inside the old walls, cobblestone streets are everywhere. But you still need to be careful.
Don't let the cobblestone streets and the people standing in the streets fool you. Cars still use these streets.
At the heart of Rothenburg lies Market Square, or Marktplatz, surrounded by Gothic and Renaissance architecture. The Grand Town Hall features a 200-foot tower that you can climb for a panoramic view of the city. Some of its sculptures are so old and so fragile, well, they cover them with plexiglass.
Pam is having some kind of, what is this, white broth? But it's in a circle, which I think is pretty cool. So, he's going to try it.
Good.
Good stuff?
You just got mustard on here.
I just got mustard on my camera.
You won't find a castle in Rothenburg. It was destroyed by an earthquake in 1356, but the castle garden now occupies its former site. It's a beautiful place with manicured hedges and flower beds and a great view of the Tauber Valley. You see these two guys? Well, every hour between 10 a.m. and 10 p.m., the medieval clock on the Counselor's Tavern springs to life with the Master Draft Show. In 1631, Rothenburg was threatened with destruction. According to legend, General Tilly agreed to spare the town if someone could drink over 3 liters of wine in one gulp. The Burgermeister stepped up and, well, he saved the town.
Now, according to tradition, it says that he slept for several days after he drank all the beer. Makes sense.
Rothenburg is best known for its medieval walls and towers.
These are the stairs to go up to the tower. They're not very wide, but they're steep. The ceiling is not very tall, which reflects how short people were back then.
Rothenburg's medieval walls are among the best preserved in all of Germany, stretching over 2 miles. They encircle the old town almost completely and date back to the 1200s. Some areas of the wall and some towers were damaged during World War II, but thanks to a U.S. Army official whose mother had visited Rothenburg and loved it, much of the town was spared. You see the plaques along the wall of people who helped pay for the walls to be repaired. You can walk along much of the original covered wall walk, passing through ancient guard towers and gates. The wall offers panoramic views of red-tiled rooftops and the scenic Tauber Valley below. The walls once protected the city from invaders, but today they invite travelers to explore Rothenburg's rich history from above, one stone at a time. For a darker look into the past, visit the Medieval Criminal Museum. It features original torture devices. Trust me, it would have made you think twice.
Behind me is the Middle Ages Criminal Museum. Now, this highlighted how they dealt with criminals in the Middle Ages and the various ways they punished them. Unfortunately, they wouldn't let you take pictures inside, so I encourage you to take it in when you come to Rothenburg, because I have talked to people who've been in there and it's amazing.
Tough justice didn't always mean fair justice. For instance, if you wouldn't confess, they may put you in a metal cage and hang you over a fire until you confessed. And then once you did confess, well, they'd put you in a set of stocks and let people throw rotten fruit and vegetables at you. Perhaps one of the most photographed spots in Rothenburg is a privately owned home called Plönlein. It's a picturesque yellow house sitting at a fork in the road, flanked by two medieval towers. It looks like it was plucked straight out of a storybook, and many say it inspired Disney's Pinocchio. Of course, one of the things that Rothenburg ob der Tauber is best known for is its amazing medieval towers that were once part of the city's fortification. Each tower has its own unique story. This is the Faulturm Tower. It was built in the early 1300s as a prison, and then later it was heightened and incorporated into the defensive systems of Rothenburg. You'll notice the only windows are at the very top, so it obviously wasn't part of the defensive systems at first. You'll notice the old stairs from the early 1300s underneath the newer stairs when they redid the tower. Unfortunately, the tower is no longer open to the public. You can crawl up and kind of look at what's going on and go through a couple walkways, but you can't tour the tower.
As you're coming down the stairs, my camera's at stomach level right now, so you can see how far you have to bend down to get back down the stairs.
The name Faulturm could be translated foul tower, or more accurately, rotten tower. Why? Because in its early days as a prison, prisoners would basically go in but never come out. They left them there to starve and their bodies to decay and rot. Medieval justice was swift and severe.
Now, since my name is Mark, I have to admit, this is my favorite tower in Rothenburg. It's called the Marcus Tower.
But then again, the Marcus Tower was used as a prison, so maybe I shouldn't be so proud. When you come to Rothenburg, I really want to encourage you to take some time and get off the beaten path. Don't just hang around the touristy areas or the main square. Take some time and get out and explore. Get off the beaten path, because some of the most interesting sights are those that you won't find unless you go looking for them. While I was filming in the main square in the touristy areas, Pam decided to take her camera and go exploring. And she found some amazing things like this beautiful old covered bridge and cobblestone pathways that were just amazing. This is the Spital Bastion. It was built in the 1600s as part of the fortification of Rothenburg. It had 7 arched gates through which people could pass. The imposing structure behind the gates was built at the same time. Later it became part of Rothenburg's fortification, but originally it was a fortified charity hospital to take care of the poor, needy, elderly, and pilgrims. Of course, healthcare back then was pretty rudimentary, and it was based on a mixture of ancient theories and folk remedies. While this was probably changed when it became part of the fortification of the city, you can see how they had very little concern for sanitary conditions when it was a hospital. Again, when you get away from the crowds, step outside the gates, and see the walls from the outside, it gives you a whole different perspective. We entered through this gate and saw something really cool. When you look at the entryway, you may notice that there's an indented outline of a rectangle. This is where a drawbridge would fit when it was raised. There was a dry moat around Rothenburg. As with some other countries, like Italy, the aristocracy did not live in these towers. In Rothenburg, these towers were reserved for soldiers and watchmen so they could keep the city safe. There's a lot of people interested in train travel, so we thought we'd show you the train we took from Munich to Rothenburg. We took an early morning train because it was less expensive. Usually you'll have to choose between first or second class when you purchase your ticket. Our first pro tip: second class is really comfortable. But if you want to ride in first class, the seats are a little wider and you'll have some more privacy, among other amenities. Oftentimes, the price to reserve your seat is included in the price of the first class ticket. That's right, that's a thing in Germany. You don't just buy your ticket, you sometimes have to pay a small fee to reserve the seat you want. And here's our second pro tip. Before you reserve your seat, ask ChatGPT which side of the train is best to sit on if you want the best views. Germany's train system is fast, efficient, and well-connected. High-speed ice trains link major cities like Berlin, Munich, and Frankfurt, while regional trains reach small towns and scenic areas. With reliable schedules, comfortable seating, and easy transfers, it's one of the best ways to explore the beautiful country of Germany. It's punctual, modern, and an eco-friendly way to travel. We hope you enjoyed our visit to Rothenburg ob der Tauber in Germany. If you did, hit the subscribe button and give us a thumbs up so YouTube knows to spread it to more travelers. And hit the notification bell so you can always travel with us. This is Mark and Pam with Any Way You Travel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next week. Happy travels!